It's easy to get down. It's easy to have doubt and start questioning. You done prayed about it, asked about it, and it didn't happen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, Mike Brown introduced as the New York Knicks head coach. There's already been a lot said in regards to, Mike Brown being added. A lot of people, including some Knicks fans, don't feel like Tom Thibodeau, they feel like he was unfairly let go after leading the Knicks, back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 20 plus almost 25 years. So obviously, Mike Brown's hiring comes with a bit of controversy. What was interesting was former New York Knicks great point guard Mark Jackson put out a very cryptic post on the same day of the press conference. Now, he doesn't mention Mike Brown by name, but we do know Mark Jackson coached in played, obviously, coached in the NBA. He's, from New York, and I'm pretty sure he felt like, if he could come back and coach his Knicks after the way things went in Golden State, the hometown, that would be a nice way to kind of, I guess, ride off into the sunset in his career. Well, instead, Mike Brown was hired, and he actually put up this post. So I'm going to play that for you.
To whom it may concern, blessings. You're more than qualified. Your resume says you're more than qualified. Your body of work says you're more than qualified. So it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to get down. It's easy to have doubt and start questioning. I don't know who I'm talking to. You done prayed about it, asked about it, and it didn't happen. Well, it didn't happen for a reason. The worst place to be in this world is outside the will of God. Don't miss your shout. What's yours is yours. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's enough to run on. I gotta go. Blessings.
Now, while, again, Mark Jackson, he did not mention anything specifically about Mike Brown, but it was just ironic. It happened the same day. We know that Mark Jackson, after being let go by ESPN, being a commentator for them, he actually would love to get back into coaching. He's done interviews in other cities after, since he's been let go. So it's just one of those things where it came at a very odd time, and there's no way to not make the correlation whenever he puts this out the day Mike Brown gets hired. So maybe he felt like instead of being negative and really talking about it, it's almost like he was coaching up himself, looking like he was doing a motivating video that was just kind of general, but just reading between the lines, very, very ironic. Now, Mike Brown has already started to shake things up. Everybody knows that, Jalen Brunson being the star of the team, his dad was, Rick Brunson, who actually, players started to kind of complain of. And so already we're hearing reports where, he's been demoted on the coaching staff. He is assistant coach, and he's going to be moved to a lesser role under Mike Brown's thing. And it said players kind of complain, in private about the influence Rick Brunson had with Tom Thibodeau even. So with that, it's like Mike Brown has already come in and he's talking about the culture and accountability. Well, I guess some players felt like there was not really that same level of accountability with Rick Brunson being over his son, Jalen Brunson. And that him being actually hired as part of a kind of a 2-for-1 whenever they were able to sign Jalen Brunson from the Dallas Mavericks. So that's already a huge shakeup right there. And I like that Mike Brown did that, quite honestly, because it assures the other players, like, this is the new culture. No, Rick Brunson's still part of the staff, but we can't have you right next to me. I'm going to hire a second in command, an assistant coach, that's going to be of higher rank than you on this particular team, even though your son's the star. And so I put some respect on Mike Brown for that right away. Matter of fact, let me play a clip of what Mike Brown had to say about taking over with this new culture with the Knicks.
You talk about a historic franchise, Madison Square Garden. It's iconic. Our fans, they're the most knowledgeable and passionate, probably in all of sports. There's a lot of work to be done. We have an outstanding roster. What they did in the playoffs shows their potential. I've had great conversations with all of our players, and I'm looking forward to growing positive, strong relationships with all of them over time.
Just kind of what is it for you coming into a team that's reached the conference finals, the expectations you're stepping into?
Well, there's nobody has any bigger expectations, first of all, than I do. My expectations are high. But this is the Knicks. I talked about Madison Square Garden being iconic. I love and embrace the expectations that come along with it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Kind of after January 1st or so, they were around the middle of the pack in offensive rating. What did you see from watching them the second half versus the first half of the year of kind of stuff that you can clean up a little bit, and more schematically, how do you feel like the offense can hit that level where it was when it was on its best on this last game?
Like I said, I thought Tom Thibodeau did a great job, and the guys did a fantastic job last year. But I'm looking forward. We just added 2 new additions to the team that are going to bring a lot of versatility to how we're going to play. I just can't wait to get on the court and start implementing things that we want to do offensively to help us grow and take it to another level. But we still got some time before we do that.
Now, Mike Brown, we saw the job he did in Sacramento. Obviously, he coached LeBron. Was amazing in Cleveland. All his stops, really. Mike Brown is a phenomenal coach. Nobody's going to question that. He's a great leader. So, I like I said, I reiterate the fact that I appreciate him taking command right away, talking about accountability of himself, his coaching staff. I think anyone that is a Knicks fan can really get excited now. And Mike Brown's culture he's a player's coach. I think he'll make some better decisions as far as lineups than Tom Thibodeau does at times, kind of wearing his players out, playing them an exorbitant amount of minutes. Sometimes in games that are kind of decided a little earlier. That's what he gets some criticism for. It's like, man, get these guys some rest. Stretch your bench out a little bit. And I think Mike Brown is a lot better at doing that. But let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.